Drew has got some 4th of July fun facts. And don't you all, isn't it also for July 1st? Isn't that the day in history? Is that what you had? Well, tell us what you had. How about?
Okay. Yeah, I had some 4th of July fun facts, really fun facts. And then from there, we will talk some this day
In history.
Just a few this day in history. And then famous birthday or 2 or 3.
Okay.
And then famous death on this date.
Getting dark.
And then fun holidays. Those are always really, really fun. So it's 4th of July coming up here. Monday, July 4th will be 4th of July.
You guys got some home talent baseball games coming up.
True.
One Saturday and one
Monday.
On Monday, on the 4th.
Yep.
And I think I've asked this before, but does the fireworks, they aren't always on 4th of July, right? I mean, as far as...
The festivities.
I think they maybe are.
But they are this year. Are they in Mazomania? We have big fireworks in Mazomania.
The biggest, yeah.
They used to always be down at the Mazo Lions Club Park where you guys play baseball down there. And I remember as a kid, when we lived out in the country, you'd always come into the park. It was a big event, and they have great fireworks. Mazo has great fireworks. I mean, we've got Madison, which is about 20 miles east of here, and they have something, I think they used to, I don't know if they still do, have Rhythm and Booms. That's a huge, big show with music and everything. Mm-hmm. And Sauk City, Sauk Prairie.
Fire on the Water, right on the Wisconsin River. Yep. Those are pretty good.
But home of the original Culvers.
Yeah, we always have to say that, don't we? But Mazo has a great fireworks. A lot of people come, and they used to always do it down by the in the Mazo Lions Club Park, and I remember always wishing that I could live down there by the park. My cousin lived right across from the park, and so one time we got to camp out. He put up a tent, and we slept out there. And we were able to watch it in full view. I mean, it would come right. You could see them lighting it off just 100 yards away. You could see the guys lighting it off. And so that was always a big thrill for me. Yeah. The 4th of July was a huge celebration.
You were so jealous of your cousin Chris.
Yep. Chris. And now they have it up on the bluff, which is just off to the east of us. And I don't know. It's dry this year, so I don't know if we're going to have trouble with that.
I think Smokey probably would say that this is a very high chance of fire, so you got to be careful.
Smokey hasn't been around as long as 4th of July, though, so.
Yep, that's probably true.
Yeah, probably is. I'm just saying.
So that's my story.
He just doesn't know, or what's...
Well, that's, yeah.
Smokey just doesn't know. Tear him down.
Yeah.
And with that, we're off on some 4th of July fun facts. So the first one, we've got 15 here. I don't know if we'll go through all of them. Some of them we can probably cruise through. Others we really need to stop and
chop with.
Yeah, talk it up a little bit. We didn't actually declare independence on the 4th of July. One of the greatest misconceptions of the 4th of July lies in the name and date. It is widely believed that America declared their independence from Britain on July 4th in 1776. However, the official vote actually took place 2 days before, and the Declaration of Independence was published in papers on July 4th. So 2 days prior, they voted on it officially, so July 2nd.
I think it's time for full transparency here on the Original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. We had some technical difficulties. Normally we film this. It's an old band's way of saying it. Is that film? Do we film this?
Sure.
Anyway.
We run the show usually.
Yeah, on Friday at late afternoon. But we're doing it on Saturday now because we had some technical difficulties. And isn't that amazing that we're actually doing it on the day that we declared our...
They voted.
I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. I think that's just
the way it was meant to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is July 2nd.
Yep.
How many years ago was that? 1776. Can you do? You're good at math, Drew.
Put me on the spot now.
1776 to 2022.
24 years plus 22 years. So coming up on July 4th.
Yeah.
It's going to be 246. 246.
Yeah, 22. Yep.
So hey,
sounds right to me.
So here's another one of those things. I was 16 years old in 1976. Got it?
Wow, 200 years.
Yep. Was that the bicentennial? I think it was.
Yeah.
That was big. That was big.
I bet you that was.
And we didn't wear any. Well, you've got a red, white, and blue hat.
Yeah, my Rapala hat, and got my flag on my shirt.
Yeah.
Really
Represent. Yeah. Anyway,
very patriotic
so it's really we're
most.
celebrating the actual time
Today, right. Yep.
July 2nd.
Yep. Nobody else will be celebrating with us, but we'll be doing it today.
Yeah.
When they
We're
vote,
true
when they
patriots.
voted on
True
it.
patriots.
True.
Number 2, the designer of the 50-star flag lived in Lancaster, Ohio. In 1958, a history teacher assigned a class assignment to redesign the national flag as both Alaska and Hawaii neared statehood. Robert G. Heft, who was 16 at the time, designed a new flag using the old 48-star flag and $2.87 worth of blue cloth and white iron-on material. His design earned him a B-, to which he challenged by sending it to Washington, D.C. for consideration by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. According to his obituary, Heft was one of thousands to submit a flag design, but he was the only person who actually stitched together a flag and shipped it to D.C. Once the flag was selected, Heft's grade was rightfully changed to an A. His design became the official flag in 1960. But I looked up the 48 state flag, and he had it 2 stars.
As I was going to say, it doesn't seem like that's real. No offense. Maybe that's why the teacher's like, yo, it's like almost plagiarism.
So
It's almost plagiarism.
there was a 13 colony flag, and then did they?
Stars went in the circle.
What? How did they? Do we
They
know?
must have just started adding stars.
Okay, but what about flag makers there in like 19? Alaska became a state, our 49th state, and when did we find out?
I
Was
don't
it
know if that
40,
was
58 or 59? I
something
think,
like that.
and then Hawaii was like 60.
60, maybe.
Well, just think if you went to the store. We're really patriotic. You're trying to support the nation, and you buy a 48-star flag. The next year, it's obsolete.
It'd be kind of like buying a professional player's jersey who played for a team, and they trade him the next year, and it's like, well, I've got a jersey. He plays for the whatever team, and now he plays for some other team. It's like, now
if that
what am I
works,
supposed to do? Do I get my money back or what?
It's a good analogy.
It was a great analogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thought
So
about
then
it
the
right
next year you have 49 star flag.
Yep.
And a year or two later, boom.
Just keep
You
adding
got to go back
stars.
to
Yeah.
Walmart. Well, there wasn't Walmarts back then, but you have to go down to the local department store and buy another flag. What do you do with the other flag?
I think you turn it in and you say, hey, I'd like a refund. You add an extra star on this flag.
That you just colored one on somehow.
Or you keep it for like
I don't know if that's
long,
Yeah.
time in
I wonder if it was
future.
sell
Maybe
it.
it'll be able to sell it on like Antiques Roadshow or something. Not
You
sell
could,
it, but get it
but
appraised or something.
What I'm wondering is conspiracy theory.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the flag maker lobbyists lobbied the United States to buy Alaska, the government, so they could make more money making flags, and then they did it the same with Hawaii a year or two later.
That's
Does that
conspiracy
fly at all?
theory.
Does that fly in anybody's mind?
I'm right there.
That the
I'm a big
flag
conspiracy
makers,
theorist.
lobbyists were beating down the doors of senators and congressmen trying to
To
get
add more states.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'll go with it. I believe it.
That's a theory I'm going to float out there for the original father-son voiceover
We'll let it
podcast.
hang
See if
out
any
there.
other conspiracy theorists jump on that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something.
You may
to
have
think
created a new genre of conspiracy
Yeah.
theory.
Number 3, Americans will enjoy 150 million hot dogs during the 4th, according to National Sausage and Hot Dog Council, NHDSH, or NHDSC. Which I feel like, who needs a council for that?
How did
How do you come up with that?
Yeah, how did
Is
hot
Joey
dogs?
Chestnut the president of that? The guy who eats all those hot dogs?
Is that July 4th when they have the main hot dog eating
I have no idea.
contest
remember what
where you
day
try to
it's on.
stuff it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's even hard to watch, that thing, because they don't just eat it. They don't eat a hot dog like we eat it.
No,
they
they're
stuff
not
it in
enjoying
there
it.
and swallow it, and then they
water
soak
the
bread in water so that it slides down. And
Not a very pleasant thought.
no,
Nor
I think I'll
sane.
just eat mine regularly. Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 and call it good.
Yep. Just enjoy it. This is part of an estimated 7 billion that are expected to be eaten during the summer season from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Wow.
7 billion. As many people are on this planet, which it's a little more than that now, but
That's
7 billion
amazing.
hot dogs and brats. Is that what it is?
I think it's just hot dogs.
Just hot dogs.
It's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here is number 4. It's going to rattle your brain. Only 2 men signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. Charles Thompson and the infamous
Infamous.
John Hancock were the only 2 men who actually signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. The other 54 delegates signed over the course of the next month.
Well, and
Interesting.
And here's the thing: is so Chuck Thompson. Take a look at his. I don't remember. I'm not a historian in this area, but I think John Hancock's is huge.
He started off. It's like when you've done a card, and you don't know how many people are signing it. Like you're in the office, you wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
But you're in the office and you're signing a get well or you're signing a birthday, and you're signing. The first person that signs, you're like, well, you just hog half that side.
Yeah.
So now how the rest, then all of a sudden some of them get really tiny, or if somebody, it's like grievance card, like, hey, really sorry, thoughts and whatever. Somebody will get kind of wordy. And so it's like, well, I'll just sign my name then. Sorry about that.
Just put an arrow.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me
or
too.
that
Yeah,
that same here.
Samey on that one.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
why did John Hancock get to sign his so big?
I think he wanted people to know.
Did he just?
I'm serious about this.
I wonder if that was it.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't know how many
First
other
come,
people were
first
gonna
come,
sign.
first serve. You get to do whatever
maybe
you
just
want
thought
right
I'm
away.
the only one signing, so
Yeah.
I better sign big.
Yeah.
Kick up a lot of dust.
Yeah.
This is could cost me my life.
Yeah. Yep. Somebody came in into his office and said, hey, you need to sign this as the Declaration of Independence. So, okay. So he just signed his name and he didn't realize there were other people going to be signing.
How many signers were there total?
Sounds like 56 because there's 54 plus those
How many
2
can
men.
we name?
I can't.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
Benjamin Franklin,
Ben,
George
Thomas
Washington.
Jefferson.
Ben, Tom,
Adams
Chuck.
probably.
We got Chuck Thompson thrown in for free.
Johnny
It's a
Hancock.
freebie.
Adams,
George, yeah.
I would think. I don't know that for
George
sure.
Washington. I
John,
would think
did you
he
say
did.
John Adams?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben Franklin, obviously. Thomas Jefferson. Wow. What we get?
We
like
don't-
6?
Yeah, there's 50 out there. Probably more.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if Washington signed. I mean, I don't know who all. I mean, he was a general in the Revolutionary War, but then they wanted him to be the king, basically.
Was he the president? Yeah. Did they? When? I wonder when they.
We're getting into very murky territory here.
Well, I'm just saying. I wonder when he became president officially. If he was president right when they signed that, if they had that already, or if like.
Well, they had to fight a war.
But they had already. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Does
You're right.
anybody, I mean, of course, some people know this, but does any just kind of normal Joes like us know? Could, do you, like, did you get taught that in school? Like,
The signers?
yeah.
Yeah.
Seems
No.
like a pretty important thing. Honestly.
Yeah, they risked their lives and livelihood and families and property and
Yeah, it was a pretty big
Necks.
deal, I would think. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
they were going to have to fight a war over it. Probably knew it too.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So, number 5, there is something written on the back of the Declaration of Independence. And no, it isn't a treasure map written in invisible ink. National treasure.
National treasure. That's
According to the History Channel, a simple message is written upside down across the bottom of the signed document that reads, Original Declaration of Independence dated 4th July, 1776. So, anyway, there you have it.
Nice.
Number 6, one signed later recanted, so one signer later recanted the Declaration of Independence. Richard Stockton, not to be confused with the sports announcer Dick Stockton.
Yeah.
May have been a cousin or something, distant relative. He was a lawyer from New Jersey, became the only signer of the Declaration of Independence to recant his support of the revolution after being captured by the British in November 1776, thrown in jail. After years of abusive treatment and his recanting of loyalties, Stockton was released to find all his property destroyed or stolen by the British. His library, one of the finest in the colonies, was burned to the ground. So yeah, those people, they put their name on that.
Yep.
That was, you were going to get in.
Did he just recant it because he was being put in jail? Or
I don't have that information.
What
I don't
you're
know much about
asking
Richard
is
Stockton.
did he recant
Just
kind
because,
of after,
yeah.
or did he recant
once he came back and was like,
before, and they still kept him in and beat him up and treated him harshly and burnt things down and stuff? It's just hard to get. It's hard to wrap your brain around
Those
that.
times.
It's just hard to wrap your brain around. If it's hard to put yourself in their position, it's easy to sit here and say, Richard.
Come on now,
Richard.
you
I
traitor.
never would
I
have
would
done
have never
that.
done the same thing. Yeah, who knows? I wouldn't have survived back then.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be
I
honest.
haven't
They
been
wouldn't
beaten
have
up very many times,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'd take it very well.
Yeah, and let's be honest. They would not have invited us to the Congress.
Congress,
They
Congressional
wouldn't have done that.
No.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have been part of that party anyway. So we wouldn't have had to do a whole lot of sacrificing, probably.
I don't think so. Yeah. We may have been asked to just be on a body shield on the front lines, basically.
Throw all the Barsuses on the front line.
Yeah.
That's what they're good for.
Number 7, the average age of the signers was 45 years old.
Wow.
Of the 56 signers, so again, telling us, dropping a little knowledge there on us, the youngest signers were Thomas Lynch Jr. and Edward Rutledge of South Carolina. They were only 26.
Wow.
However, Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania was the oldest signer at 70 years old.
Wow.
So that's why it increased the average age. But 26 years old, those guys,
That's me.
that's Hudson.
Scary.
Yep. Tom
and
and
let me tell
Tom
you,
and Ed.
my John Hancock is not very good. So it wouldn't have looked good. I'm sure those guys were really good at cursive back in the day. Mine would have been the worst signature on there easily.
Yeah.
Could have been the
I'm
biggest.
just letting
though.
you know.
You could have.
That's
You
true.
could have had yours
Yep.
be the largest, and then people would have been like, "Wow, guy's taking up a lot of space."
That guy must have been important.
Even when I'm 62 years old, so I'm close to the oldest guy. I still think of them as being old men.
Yeah.
Because you
All of
learned
them.
about them,
All of them.
and you look at them and you say, boy, those are all old guys. But here's a couple of guys in their mid-20s, and the rest of them probably in their
30s,
what did you say, 45
45
was the
Was the average
age,
average
but
age.
if
So
you
yeah,
got
you
it-
probably had guys in their 30s and
Yeah.
guys in their 40s, and then you had guys in their 50s and 60s, and then you had Ben at 70.
guys with families, wives and families, and
Yep.
farms and businesses and stuff.
Yep.
What are we doing there?
We're really
10 minutes
We're
left.
really these are fun facts, interesting, historical. We're really, I feel like we're really feeling the history
Yeah.
as this is. I mean, we're very solemn, and that's a good. I think that's a good direction for the 4th of July. Not that we can't have some fun, but
Reflection. It's time for
this is
reflection.
reflection.
Yeah.
Do you have any there that are that you see
are more interesting?
that are really that are just that you think would be wow? Two or more of these would be great because then you said you have some other things, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
And just so you know,
Just so I
turn
know.
that way. Turn that way again. I can see your mustache a lot better at
From the
this
side,
angle
I
than
know.
on the front.
Yeah. So for baseball, we usually around the 4th of July we do like a facial hair thing, like a mustache or mostly a mustache. And I have trouble growing a mustache. It's not terrible, but it's really blonde compared to like this stuff is darker. So I decided to go with mustache, and I have some kind of dirty sideburns just because I can't. Not many people can see my mustache. So that's the story behind that. So you probably can't see my mustache, but
I
my
can barely
sideburn-
see it, especially like when we're out in the sunlight. When you're looking face on, you can hardly
From the
you hardly
side,
know,
it's-
but from the
it's-
side, it's bushy.
There's decent coverage. Yeah,
it's
but it's
bushy.
just so blonde. It really is.
I
Anyway,
didn't even know you have an upper lip when I'm looking from this.
it's just yeah.
Sorry.
Do you have any smaller, more interesting stories that you mind sharing?
Hey, that's his fault. He brought that up.
Shorter, more interesting.
We're
story.
we're short on
you-centered,
time.
that aren't you-centered.
Yeah, we're short on time.
I
here.
am the
Let's-
one that brought it up.
Yeah.
So
Can't handle teasing.
A much smaller start. Here we go. We're at 12 already.
Oh wow.
Although an official national census was not completed until 1790, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that there were only about 2.5 million people living in America in 1776.
what's there, 310 or
As of
30 or
2017,
something?
it has grown to become a home to 325.7 million.
Wow.
So,
Tiny. And most of them were all scrunched into the
13
Northeast and
colonies.
the
I bet you it was spacious, though. 2.5 million.
Yeah.
I bet you felt like you had land galore,
yeah.
land to spare. All right, bizarre 50th anniversary. Thomas Jefferson, 82. I knew this fact. Thomas Jefferson, 82, and John Adams, 90. Both died on July 4th, 1826.
Wow.
Within 5 hours of each other on the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So I remember that. I remember
That's
I remember
interesting.
that, and I thought one of them said something about the other guy just before he died.
I just outlasted him or something
yeah,
like that.
or what about Thomas Jefferson or something they said.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were
That's
competitive.
we won't put that in quotes. I don't think
Yeah,
that's a
no.
verbatim, but
Yeah, I don't
What a
know if they
day.
were competitive or he cared about him. Here's the other thing is you have a tendency to think that those guys all got along. I don't think they did so. I don't think they did. I mean, they were their own men and they had thoughts and beliefs and they came together on, I guess, maybe
Freedom.
what the most important thing is, but I think if you read the backstory on some of them, they kind of fought with one another.
I'm pretty sure it was Thomas Jefferson that wanted a revolution like every 50 years
Less than that. I thought every 10.
to overthrow the
Yeah.
government because he didn't want the government getting big. He
Right.
didn't want them talk about somebody serious about.
On fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went over to France and helped them
With
with
theirs.
their revolution.
He just couldn't get enough of it.
You just can't get enough of this
more.
revolution.
Who's not free? You're not free?
I'm
coming over there.
Tom's on a
Oh
ship.
no, let's everybody shape up. He would turn around though sometimes, it's like when Dad would come home from work. Dad's coming home. Okay, shape up.
Shape up.
No. Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, 15. A little late to the parade. July 4th was not deemed a federal holiday until 1870, nearly 100 years after the nation was founded. Again, the government's not real quick to these things. They're like, well, that's pretty important, but let's wait 100 years and make sure that it was truly that we're going to stick around.
Maybe they were fighting over whether it should be July 2nd or July 4th. Maybe that was the big fight.
Yeah, they had to wait for some of these guys to die to, then enact it because they're like, wow, these guys won't give up on
We're not
this
going to get
second.
an inch on these
George,
guys.
the 4th of July just sounds better. The 2nd of July, let's not do that, guys. And they wouldn't give up.
So I wonder when the last person that signed the Declaration of Independence died.
I don't know. I
You
don't
know what I
have
mean?
that. I should have gotten that.
1776, around that. But then you said that they added signatures for how long after?
A month,
you
you said?
I think
months
a couple
afterwards,
months after.
but
yeah.
all within maybe the same year. So 1776. Some of those guys were 26, so they were born in 1750. So there could have been people living into the early to mid 1850s.
I would have wanted to have been like one of the guys. So like, the fighting maybe was going on, and it was like you're just kind of trying to see how it's going, and then you see that you're about to win. I'd say, can I get that independence? I'd like to
Who's got a
throw my
pen?
name. I got to
Yeah.
throw my name on that real
I've
quick.
always
Then you're always listed
Always been
there.
on this side.
And you say,
America,
well,
I've always supported
I was one
America.
of the first that
Yep.
signed. I was one of the first that signed.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of knew that we were needing to have this independence. John put his name up there big, but he was last. John was last.
Yeah.
Just so everybody's
Filling
clear.
the space.
That's true. Maybe there's just a really big space left. And he
Yeah,
just-
we all tried to save some space for other people, but John had to throw his name on there big.
John was always like that.
What did John do
Hancock.
even?
Yeah. Even though
And
he
he
was like
even
the,
got a-
he was like the first. He put his name on there
Got
first, big.
an adage after him. Put your John Hancock
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it big.
Yep.
Make everybody know that you're signing this thing.
Loud and proud. All right. So here is some July 1st, this day in history, and 1863 Battle of Gettysburg.
What,
General Lee's
began?
northward advance was halted in Gettysburg.
So that was just a part of it, or what's the specific
Start and middle.
start? Or what
What,
the
you know?
1863, I think it was over in 1865.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
61 it started. So that's kind of like the halfway
so
point.
I see it's like a halftime.
Yeah. This is for Dad. 1967, the Beatles album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It goes #1 in the United States,
Yeah.
where it would stay for 15 weeks. And
No.
Dad was, yeah, that's what it says.
I was down at the Mazomanie V store at 7 years old buying my Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band single 45 and then flipping it over to the B-side. I wonder what the B-side was.
Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
Do you remember that at all? Do you remember the 45s, the records? And there would be a really good song. And then the other side was like, what a waste.
I don't remember
Flip
that.
That's
the
why they
B-side.
call it the
They called it the
B-side.
B-side.
It was no good.
Didn't CDs have two sides at one point?
Maybe I don't.
I thought
remember that.
I thought they maybe did.
We'll go with it.
Okay. In 1908, SOS ... Dash dash ... That's what it is in Morse code.
Morse code. Yeah.
Distress signal becomes the worldwide standard for help. 1908,
On July 4th.
July 1st.
July
Remember where this day?
Oh,
this day in
Because
history.
of our
Oh, yeah,
technical
yeah, yeah, yeah.
difficulty,
Okay, July
it was
1st.
supposed to be Friday, but
Yep.
SOS.
In 1916, the first of 4 fatal Jersey Shore shark attacks. It's kind of hard to say altogether. Jersey Shore shark attacks occurred, challenging previous scientific belief that sharks never hurt humans. That's why you can't trust science.
What year was this?
Well, I mean, the sharks. Like, how long have sharks been around? They're like, no, don't worry about
Yeah,
it, guys. They're not going to
they've
kill
got
anybody.
massive
and they have
teeth.
like a
They're
history
super
of
huge.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like who's
What-
the
what
scientific
year was that?
belief? 1916.
1916.
And then this sparked a popular fear over sharks, which persists today.
Yeah,
like
I get it.
You know, like there were probably people in Hawaii, like, yeah, the sharks are bad. Like you didn't need a scientist to tell you that.
Yeah,
But what year
Alfredo
was that?
came back without an arm.
1918.
So, but
Alfredo
people
is
in Hawaii.
probably not a Hawaiian name,
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say,
He was
Hawaii wasn't
vacationing.
a state
Well, yeah,
either
he was
yet.
vacationing.
He was
so-
vacationing
From Mexico.
From Mexico.
But other than that, I think the facts, what you said, that example was great.
no, I'm saying that there are people in Hawaii. I mean, listen, you don't have to be a part of the American community to be a part
was
of
it
the
called
scientific
Hawaii
community.
before?
I don't know.
Hey, but whenever Jaws came out,
Yeah.
it was one of the movies that I saw. My brother and I went to the theater in Madison. And
You saw that in theaters?
Yep.
I bet
And
you
it
that
was scary, and I didn't want to go swimming. I even checked the swimming pool sometimes for sharks.
You can never be too
Just
careful.
Scary.
And then the shark inflatables. That would have been scary for you too if you would have had one of those.
We knew they were dangerous.
But anyway, it just seems like a strange thing. Like I mean, that challenge that did in 1960. You know how many years of history there were
Sharks.
prior to that? Sharks weren't
people
like
just
what?
disappeared all the time from shark.
Yeah,
But that said, it's not, when there's a shark attack, it's always this huge deal. But it's
true.
It's like, I don't know.
So random. Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
rare
happen
and
very often. It's
rare,
very, very
yeah.
rare.